from 7:30 to 9. So let's begin from where we left off in the last discussion. Last time we talked about the various different comparisons and the various different outputs that we get whenever we change the models of ChatGPT 5.0 between thinking and thinking mini, and how we are able to modify our prompt to get the maximum or the most accurate output. And I have also shared my screen. It should be coming up just now. I hope it is visible and we all can see my ChatGPT screen. If anybody can let me know, that will be great.
No, sir.
Not it.
Let me just reshare it. Right. I hope it is visible now and we're good to go.
Yeah, now it's visible, sir.
Okay, great. So let's begin. We are back with our sample prompt list. And today we are going to be looking at two very important functions inside of ChatGPT, as I had mentioned day before yesterday. One of them is going to be projects, and the second one will be the canvas mode right here. And then if time permits, we will go ahead with other part of our topics as we have planned. All right. So we're going to begin first with the canvas part right here, with the projects part right here. Sorry. And projects are, I feel, one of the most underrated, if not, at least if not underrated, one of the most lesser talked about features inside of the ChatGPT platform. And projects were available slightly before the 5th version came out. And it's a very unique kind of a space where the moment when we open it, we get this very interesting user inbox where we can sort of give a label and get started with creation of a project. Now, the idea of a project was originally created by OpenAI with the purpose of, as we can see on the screen also, to keep the chats, files, and the custom instructions regarding one topic in one place. Therefore, it would serve a twofold purpose, which would be either to maintain a sense of continuity for any ongoing project or idea that we are working on. And also, it would help us to keep our chats much more organized, especially if we are working on different topics or ideas or areas at the same time. And the projects, in case anybody has missed it, are available in this sidebar under the projects tab. And if we see here, they have given it a very interesting symbol of a folder, which sort of makes us realize that this space inside of a GPT is basically a placeholder for various different purposes or areas, some of which are available for our reference right here, as we see. These are some sample names that it has given. And according to that, we can also give the name to any one project that we are working on. So from our prompt list, let's say that somebody's mic is on. Can I please request you to mute? So let's say that maybe we can go with this one. So this prompt right here talks about creating an entire semester plan on a course of creative writing, including peer review, which means that the broader area that we are working with is creative writing. So what we do is we go back to chats and we come back to the projects part right here. I'm showing it once more. we name this project space as creative writing, right? Apart from that, this symbol that we see right here allows us to color code our different projects together according to the color that we want to give. Let's say I select this one, and we can also give it a specific icon which helps us identify that. So since it's a creative writing space, I think we can go with either this or this. Let's say I'll go with this one, right? So this is a small customization that we can do, but when we have a large number of projects that we are working on, this combination will really help us segregate our projects effectively. Now, before going ahead and creating the project, I can click on this and it will create it for me. There is one thing that we have to do, or which we have to be aware of. We can modify or change it depending upon our requirement. This settings field that we see right here, if I click on this, we are brought to a very important option, which is how should the memory or the setting of accessibility of this particular chat be designed. And why this becomes very important is because of this part right here, which I'll come to in a minute, but we can see that it allows us to choose two different kinds of memory options. One that is the default setting, which if we select that and if we keep it as it is, what it will do is whatever interactions or prompts or chats that I give to the platform for this particular project, the chats will be able, or the model will be able to go outside of this space that we are creating and access my other chats and memories of that in order to respond or answer the question that I have asked or the prompt that I have put in. And the opposite is also true. Whatever chats I have in the outside space in a normal ChatGPT environment, I'll open two tabs so that it becomes easier for us to navigate. This is a normal ChatGPT tab. So whatever I am interacting here, so all of these chats, they can also talk to the interaction inside of this. But that is something which we can decide if we want to keep it as it is or not. A more better version or a more better experimentation, especially if we are trying to see how the project tabs works effectively, is to switch it over to the project only option. What this does is it restricts, it restricts the model to access the chats that we have only inside this particular project. And we have to select this carefully because once we create a project, this setting cannot be changed later. It is a one-time setting that we can do. Custom instructions can be changed, just like we did with a normal custom instruction personalization that we have here. We can do that here also, but this setting cannot be changed. So in order to test this space, we're going to switch to this particular setting and we're going to create the project. So now we can see that we have switched over to a new space inside of ChatGPT, which is called creative writing. I hope you are with me so far. Does anybody have any queries up until this point? Any doubts? I'll just pause for a second if there's anything. Otherwise, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, I have a doubt.
Yeah, sure.
Because these settings can be done through voice prompt also, isn't it?
Not for projects, no. This
Because
setting,
once when I tried it, it asked me whether you want to go for the creative writing mode. I said yes, it became creative writing.
that would be Canvas. That would be Canvas. I'm not talking about Canvas. I have created a new project here. This is what
Project.
Canvas will
Okay.
come next.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, excuse me, how many projects can we make?
I am not sure there's any limits as such, but if I have to guess, maybe it is according to the number of color codes that we have that are available in the customization tab that we have right here. But I will get back to you on this because I have never faced any problem in terms of the number of projects that can be created in ChatGPT.
If you are going to create the second one, how do we move on with it?
Right. So simple. What I do is I simply come back here, new project. Let's create another one. Let's say, suppose,
Yeah.
assessment builder, right? Give it a different color code, a different symbol maybe, and we can simply create it, right?
Okay.
And it will create it in just a few seconds. And as I think I am pretty sure that there is no limitation in the number of projects that we can create. The limitations come for the other options inside a project. I am coming to that in a minute, right?
Okay. Thank you.
So, and this is a good space to, this is a good time to show this also. Suppose there's a project that I don't want. So let's say this one, I can go here, I can rename it also, and I can delete it also. As you can see, it is gone, right? Now we are back inside the space. Now, as we can see right away that there are multiple options that we have available inside our project space right here. By the way, before moving forward, all the default options that we would have in a normal chat space are also available here as well, which means I can transition in between multiple models. I can enable or disable any of these options, whatever I want to do, right? As you can see, except for one feature, which is study and learn, which comes outside here. So that is one thing to take a look. Additionally, we can also add files from here. And this is where the limitation comes in. So there is no limitation on the number of projects that we can create in ChatGPT. The limitations are per project folder itself. And this is up to with uploading of these files. So for those of us who are using the free version of the platform, we can add up to 5 files per project. While Plus users, which is me, I am using the Plus version, and Go users, which is the basic paid plan, which is 399 rupees if I'm not mistaken, can up to 25 files. Whereas the biggest plan that they have, which is the access to Pro Research Grade Intelligence, which is pretty hefty, their users can add up to 40 files, right? And there are other minute limitations about file size and all of that. More details about which are available on the blog of OpenAI, which I would request you can go and look at. But this is the major limitation between the free and the paid versions for the number of files that can be added. There is no limitation as far as the number of projects that we can create. So that I hope that answers the question, Jel. So I it list. Okay. Moving
Yes,
forward.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Other things remain as it is. I can share this project also. And we can see that there is a similar permission level system that we have, just like we have in Google Drive and other basically other online web spaces like OneDrive, Microsoft OneDrive, etc. And all the project contents would be available to all the collaborators. Let's say I want to add a collaborator. All I do is simply write an email ID here. And the moment that the email ID is finished, we can see that we can decide the level of permissions, can chat and view the project content, or can edit and chat and modify the project also. Plus, only those who are invited here or anybody with a link. Let's say I invite myself to this project. Once the invite is finished, we can go and see here that it will have come to my primary inbox. As you can see, this is it right here. This is the invite. I can click on join project and I will become a member. So this can have a lot of possibilities in terms of in-classroom interaction, submission of files, live teamwork activities that we are doing, all of that, right? If I click on join project, I would be transitioned to the project directly. And now we can see that there are 2 users who are currently using this, and it shows both of them right here, right? So let's close this tab, and let me close this also. Now, We are back to the main chat window. Now, as I said earlier, this is basically meant for organization and better iteration of a content in and around a specific idea. So let's go ahead and get started with this. Okay, before we do that, there's one more thing. What we do is whenever we get started with a project, we come to these three dots here, and this is a very important feature that we have. We can see that there's an edit project option where I can rename it, I can change title if I want to. And this setting cannot be changed as we saw earlier. Add instructions. Now this is similar to customization, similar to custom instructions, but much more descriptive. And there's only one single question that we have to answer, which says that the question is, how can ChatGPT best help you with this project? And as you can see, it's a pretty open-ended question. And it has given us some pointers also to help us get started. It says you can ask ChatGPT to focus on certain topics or ask it to use a certain tone or format for responses. Now, there are some examples that are given here, wherein by enabling or disabling the web search option, you can let it access the web, do other things, etc. And we're going to be doing that now. We'll just customize it in order to give us the best response that we're looking for. Keeping in mind that the project that we're working on is on creative writing, right? So let's get started. We'll give it a custom prompt like this. You are an expert on creative writing with a special expertise in creative writing of fiction and poetry. Your areas of interest are fiction of the European literature from 15th to, let's say, 19th century, and contemporary American and Latin American literature. The idea here is to, and just making this on the go, this is not predetermined. So we'll see what impact it has. The idea here is to explore the impact of these literatures on the emerging trends of fiction writing, or let's say, let's make it better, writing of fiction in contemporary times. So now this is the first half. Let's give it some space. We'll modify it a slightly bit more. The style and tone of your responses should be a balance of creative style and academic trigger. The idea is to bring the insights of creative writing to the academic classroom. I think this should be enough. We can modify this later if we wish to. We'll come back to that in a minute. So with this, our custom instructions for this particular project space are ready. And now we can go ahead and start experimenting with the prompt that we have. So draft a semester plan for creative writing, including peer review checkpoints. Right. This is our primary prompt. Let's just add this first. So of course we will get an output. We have already seen this before. And based on whatever instructions we've given to it, it will give us the primary output that we are looking for. Right, we'll let it finish generating. And now what we do is we go back to creative writing. Now we can see that the output is slightly different. Our first chat that we have on this particular project is listed here, which I can come back to in case I want to, or I can simply go to the project and it takes me back to this primary screen. And from here, now we can start customizing this. So let's go ahead and do that. For example, now, of course, in an ideal scenario, our files or the documentation that we provide to the project or to the chatbot also are pre-planned, and we have a set of documents that we are aware of that we want to give to it. I'm just giving it some simple texts that can help us sort demo, that can help me demo the output better. So let's just go ahead and do that. Hopefully this one opens, or else if not, I'll open another tab. It will take a second. Let me just download this. It might take a few minutes, so we'll let it download in the background. Let's change this query a little bit. We need some articles also. Okay, so this one will take 74 seconds more. And hopefully this one should download first. Let me save this one. Okay, our book is also downloaded if I am not wrong. Yeah, this is the paper, I think. This much should be enough. Let's upload all of these while the other file is downloading. So now we are adding files into the knowledge base of this particular project. We'll just add all the files that we've just now downloaded. So again, I think one of them is a book, so that might take a few seconds more as opposite to the other two papers. And if the fourth one downloads, we will upload that also. Yeah, this one is finished. This one is still uploading, and this one is also still uploading. We'll just give it a few seconds so that, okay, I think this is done. So our files are now added. We can see that the number of files that we upload here is showing to us in terms of the number. And if I click on this, the list also opens up right here. This should be the fourth one. Yeah, we are good to go. What is this one? Let's see. Handbook of Creative Writing. This can be a really good resource. Pretty long document. Let's see if it uploads or not. Since I'm using the plus version, I don't think it should be a problem, but it's pretty hefty, about 500 pages. If it uploads, then it will be a much better output that we would be getting. Yeah, I think it has thankfully uploaded. All right, we are good to go now. So now we have these 4 files that we have given to it. We'll add a bit more to this, and now I'll also show you another feature which we have talked about on day 1, which was agent mode. I'm going to demo the agent mode right here. And agent mode is something that's one of the most latest additions to their base of features that they've given to us. And agent mode, as we can see, is pretty limited in number. We are going to come back to this in a minute. Let's just first see what happens when I have provided these files to it. We'll take our original prompt again. I'll paste it here, and we'll just slightly modify it a little bit. Let's say that I'll add a few more instructions. This course is supposed to be an ability enhancement course of 2 credits for a semester of 16 weeks. Refer to the files while designing the plan. Show me which files have you referred to. Now let's change the model also. We'll switch over to Thinking Mini, and also we'll turn on, like we did previously, a web search option. Browse the web if needed for additional references or to find similar syllabi on the said topic. So we've tweaked for the prompt a little bit, and let's see what happens. So now it is supposed to do multiple things together. It is going to think over this. As we can see, the first thing it does is it is reading our documents, those 4 or 5 files we have given to it. After that, it will start analyzing the prompt. As we can see, the user asks me to refer to uploaded files and browse the web. If necessary, I need to match my queries to the exact user request. The user asks for a semester plan, and to specify which files I refer to, I'll create a focused query that matches the request exactly. So this is primarily what project is supposed to design. What project is supposed to do, and this is what it is designed for. It is supposed to organize all the queries or prompts or the tasks that we want to run for a specific objective or a specific outcome or goal that we've specified, and the other chat interactions that we are having with the primary model are not supposed to be interfering with one particular task. So the idea of the context that we keep on talking about in the reference to the whole element of ChatGPT, we can see that project actually lets us organize it in a much better manner. And as we can see that it is actually taking some time to read through the content that we have given, plus formatting. I think after that we'll browse the web also, if I understand it correctly, and post which we should be getting output directly. So this is the next step. As I said, after understanding the prompt and the query and reading the files, it automatically jumps over to browsing all through all these websites. It was trying to understand the task where I said that please tell me which files you have referred to, aligning it with the AEC system. So I asked it to stick to the ability enhancement course pattern. So it is doing that, referencing pedagogical choices, organizing citations and semester plans. If you remember, the last time I demoed the thinking mini model, it took somewhere around 1 minute only to give me the output. This time it has thought for 1 minute more. Now, in the context of the model itself, it is very less, right? But what we have to understand is that in this 1 minute, it has actually gone and read through all these documents right here. Just give me 1 second, please. So in this manner, we can actually have a much better output. If we see now, it first tells me all the documents it has gone through at the top, and it also says what the text is and what it has understood from it. And if we compare this to the previous version that we've generated in the previous chat, we will of course notice a significant difference between both of them. Now, if we keep on multiplying and keep on adding to the knowledge base of the project space itself, we would be able to get much more detailed responses like this that we're looking for. And keeping in mind that each time I have a new interaction inside this project space, it will also refer back to the previous interactions that we have had, which means that when I generated this query, when I ran this particular query through this project space, what it did was it actually went back and read through this part right here before generating this output. So if we come back here, we can see that it tells us what all it can do further. And after suggested class policies, it also actually goes ahead and gives us, all because I've turned on this feature basically, reading and resources, modular adaptable variants, quick implementation, and what else it can do. And this is the last part, what I consulted. So it is all, not only is it able to read through what we have uploaded, but more than that, and this is what I wanted to show, it understands what we have uploaded. It is able to classify them. You have uploaded textbook or manual. So one of them is a text which it understands, and it has gone through that. The handbook of creative writing and 2 articles. So it segregates all of them separately. That tells me what it can further do. As we have seen already, convert this into an official format, produce any PDF printables, etc. All of that. Now, there is one feature which somebody was, I think, asking me last time, which is available in this and in Canvas mode also. What we do is, let's say I select this part right here. We get this pop-up on the top. It says Ask ChatGPT. If I click on this, this is really important. And this is why I kept this for project and Canvas. The moment when I select any of this, right, that becomes my input, or that is the space which can be modified by a specific prompt. Let's say I say, make it more detailed, right? So now what it will do is it will go back and refer to that. I think I should skip this thinking, otherwise it will take more time. It will go back to that section which I have selected, and on the basis of that, and once more, whenever it has gone through all the options, I forgot to turn off the web search option, it will give me a much more detailed course summary of the short description that I selected. So any specific section in our entire output that I am not sure of, or that I'm not sort of satisfied with, I can go back and to the option of Ask ChatGPT, and I can ask it to modify that. We can see the section that we have selected, which comes right here, and it allows us to modify it. I mean, of course, by typing also and by speaking to it also. Both are equally possible, right? Then there's one more thing which I think I can show at this point. No, I think that comes in Canvas. So These are some of the first initial features that we have with Canvas. Now, if we go back here, right, this is not over. We can make this actually much more powerful. Now what I can do is I can add files from here as we see. And plus we have Canvas and websites. I can do Canvas inside this also if I want to, but we'll do it separately. So let's go to a new Google tab and let's do something very interesting. For example, here I have a novel. So a primary text, basically a copy of a primary text, which is a very well-known novel that we know, which is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Right? Now, what I'm going to be doing is I want to add this file. Now, it can be added into chat also, and it can be added here also. I'm not adding it here because then it becomes a part of the permanent chat database. We want it only for one chat, right? So we are going to upload it in the prompt window. This differentiation is very important. Whenever I upload anything in the files section, it will impact the entire project. But if I want to get a specific output for a specific document only, I can do it normally the way we would normally upload a file with the plus sign here. Okay. So we're also going to demo additional feature now, which is deep research. And with deep research, we're going to try something. So all of our files are now ready. The model has 2 previous references that it can refer back to, which are basically structures of a semester plan. It has these files, which are basically documents on creative writing, assuming we can replace this with an assumption that I have given all the specific files that I want to the platform and my primary text on which I want to work with, right? Let me disable the research option. We'll demo it separately. We have ample amount of time because I want to show what the project is. Now, this is what we are going to do. We give it a very simple prompt based on the files. Actually, this will confuse the model. It will automatically take the files from the 4 documents we've added here for the uploaded novel. Generate the following. Number 1, a 2-week plan. Teach creative writing with the novel as a primary text. Number 2, a project submission idea which includes number 1, a term paper. Let's not call it project submission. And assessment idea, which includes a term paper on the novel. Give me a list of topics for that, comma. Number 2, assessment, an assessment which involves some form of creative writing based on the handbook of creative writing uploaded here. And lastly, a project idea for reenactment of famous, not reenactment, rewriting of famous scenes from the novel, which is designed to explore the impact of AI on creative writing, plus a normal assessment that we can do. Let's say a question bank, which I think we've already done this, but still we'll do it again. A question bank of, we'll keep it simple, 30 descriptive questions with answers. So now we have not turned on the web feature. We are asking it to generate some answers for us on the basis of just this much information, which is our primary text, which is the novel, these 4 files and these 2 chats. We have given it 4 objectives that it is supposed to fulfill. The first one is to give a 2-week plan to teach this novel, following which there are supposed to be 3 assessments. Our first is an assessment idea, which is a term paper on the novel. And I've asked for a list of topics on the basis of these files. Second is any one assessment, which includes some kind of creative writing based on the handbook of creative writing, which is one of the files right here. This one, I think. The third one is a project idea for rewriting some famous scenes from the novel, which also incidentally is supposed to be about exploring the impact of AI on creative writing. So somebody was asking about, I think on day 2, about the role of teaching in teachers, right? So this is what I meant. We might have to rethink the whole notion of assessments when we are integrating these platforms into the teaching learning pedagogy. And this is a short example of that. And then a normal question bank of 30 questions with answers. We run the chat. I'm going to skip the thinking option because otherwise it will take a lot of time, which I think because we have some more elements to demo. So, or I don't think I can skip it because the skip option is not coming. Maybe because there are multiple tasks that I've given to it. Oh, I think I can skip this one. Right. Let's see what it comes out with. So now it is searching through the project files as we have seen. Right. Excellent. You have uploaded. Now this will go through Pride and Prejudice with several key resources. So those 4 files that we uploaded, using Pride and Prejudice as your primary text and drawing on these handbooks pedagogical models, especially on multitask and workshop-based writing, here is a complete design for your request. Our first output, as we can see right here, is a 2-week teaching plan on teaching creative writing just through Pride and Prejudice. So it understands it very perfectly. We have the 2-week plan right here with learning outcomes and activities. We have already seen this format before, so I'm not spending too much time on it. But we can see that the quality of the output is pretty detailed. And I mean, it goes without saying that if I simply switch the model over to thinking instead of thinking mini and don't skip it, we would be able to get a much better response, right? Also, this is the second week after that. Plus, here is where we have our first assessment idea, which is a term paper. And what is interesting, if we notice, is that for each of the outputs that we are trying to generate from this, it is giving us a byline. A byline means it is automatically giving it a nomenclature. Here, there's a course theme that is given. Here we have a term paper whose purpose is to connect literary analysis with creative writing as we specified. So these are some possible topics. For example, this one, use of irony in the novel and its application for some of us who might have read or seen the film, by the beautiful film by Keira Knightley. It's one of the best actings that she has done. I would urge you to watch it if you have some time. Is the use of irony in the novel. Evolution of free indirect speech from Austen's narrator to modern psychological realism. Women's voice and agency in Pride and Prejudice, a creative writing perspective. The plot, the marriage plot is as a creative structure, rewriting desire and economy. If for those of us who are familiar with the plot of the novel, we know that the entire novel revolves around the marriages of all the siblings within one family. Characterization through dialogue, and then some basic description about what the paper should include. But I'm more interested in this one. Creative writing assessment, when there are 2 term papers, by the way. This one carries 40% weightage, this one carries 60% weightage. One short story, and this is the one where they have to actually do a creative writing, which is inspired by Austen's style. A 500-word writer's reflection on the process also. Rubrics for assessment, which are 16 total. And then comes the third assessment, which is how we can understand AI's impact on creative writing by looking at the novel as a primary text, which is Pride and Prejudice 2040. This is the title. Basically, objective is here. Choose any one scene from the novel. This is what the project is telling us to do. Example, these are the two main characters in the novel, Darcy and Elizabeth, their first marriage proposal, and rewrite it in three versions. Original Austen tone, that is to sort of rewrite the original scene from the text itself. AI generated collaborative draft using a text generator or a chatbot, and human revision reacting to that AI output. So we can see that it is actually doing what we've asked it to do. And then a focus on the project report of 1,000 words, which is the report basically asking for reflecting on authorship, creativity, and originality, and to answer the question which says discuss whether AI enhances or limits the creative consciousness. And it is basically, I think, referring to one of the documents which I have uploaded, and then a set of questions. This is the normal question bank. So with the project, basically, this is also possible. I can give it my primary text, get all the questions that I'm looking for, and this becomes a separate space within ChatGPT itself, right? So these are some of the things that projects can do. This is the projects in a nutshell, basically. We're going to pause here for a minute. I hope this has been useful. And if are there any questions on this, please let me know. Okay, I can see one question in the chat box. Sometimes it doesn't accept a scanned file. Scanned file means, is it a scanned file with of handwritten notes? In that case, it might not recognize the characters. You can try to convert it to a PDF by typing it in a Word file that it should take. Or if it's a normal PDF of a text, then the page limit would be more. Yes, ma'am.
So it is actually scanned by myself, and turned into a PDF, and then if we submit it, it says that file is not uploaded. I
But
mean,
is
why
it
does
is
this
it a
happen?
handwritten scan? It is a handwritten scan.
No,
Is
no,
it
no,
a,
no, no. It's a printed
what's
one.
the page limit? What is the number of pages? Sorry.
Around 100, which is quite less
And
than Pride and Prejudice.
are you using the free version or a paid version?
No, paid version, ChatGPT 5, the one which you are
Then it
using.
shouldn't have a problem. Can you send the file? I don't think it will allow it in the chat, but maybe my email ID I'm posting here. You can send it to me. I will take a look at
Yeah,
that
sure.
file. Then it should not happen actually.
Yeah, okay.
Why can't we try the collaboration?
Or maybe collaboration. Ma'am, if you
Yeah.
can just give me your email ID, let's see.
Instead of sending
Uh,
the file to you, you both can collaborate together. No?
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Can you just,
my my email ID is Gurpreet, GURPR okay, 1978 .cor. It is KAUR at
right?
gmail.com. Yeah.
Is this correct?
So I don't know how to. Yeah, it is correct. But how to collaborate, I don't know. So could you please,
So I'm sending
I
you an
mean, guide
invite.
me
You
through
just
this?
You can
you
upload.
just ask GPT itself. It will tell you. Do you
Yeah.
want a step-by-step directive? It will ask. Yes, you
You can
type.
ask it, or simply you can go to your email. You will have received a invite link. You can click on that on this email. You will be able to. It will be added to this project automatically. Let me know once you have done that, man. We'll go ahead from there. In the meantime, I'll just
Okay,
is if we have any.
just a second.
Sure. Anybody else in the meantime? Any
But
doubt?
Is there any limitation for the number, sir, in collaborative mode?
No. So as I said, the limitation is on the number of files that you can upload, right? In this part, not anything else. So free
Thanks.
version, you can upload up to 5 files. The plus version that I'm using currently, 25 files. The most advanced version, which is this part, which even I don't have access to, 40 files. Rest, I don't think there's any other limitation that I am aware of.
Thank you.
Yes,
Puneet sir?
yeah.
Sir, actually, I have not joined with that email ID through that email ID. So this is another email ID which I've used here to join.
Ma'am, I think
So
it would be
do I
simpler
need
to send me the file. I'll just take a look at it right away.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
I'll
maybe
just share the file on.
easier.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That would be
In the
better
meantime,
for
let
me.
me take up 1 or 2 questions as we do it. Then we can come back. Yeah. Any other questions? Otherwise, we'll move forward and we'll come back to this.
Analyze my blogs and take the file and give me a PDF. Will it work out
Sorry, sir. Can you repeat
in
the question?
free version? I mean.
Yeah.
I want to make ChatGPT analyze my own blogs on a particular topic
Okay.
and create a file with my directives. Directives one by one. I'll give it ChatGPT. Will it
Okay.
make? Can
Yes,
I
of
get it
course.
done?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. So try two ways. One is, let's say you have your blog on a blogspot like website, right? First, try to give
Blogspot and
access to, sorry,
WordPress also both are there.
WordPress, right? I
Yeah.
am not sure whether it can access WordPress directly. Try it once. In case it
Huh.
doesn't work, try it by giving the link directly. If it is not able to access the content, you can simply copy paste your blogs into one single Word file, right? Convert it to a Word in PDF and upload it, and then you can take it forward from there because then it becomes a file. All your
Huh.
blogs are available one after the other, and you can
Huh.
put it as a descriptive file base in the project, and you can manage your blogs from there,
Yeah.
right?
And one more one doubt. Can I ask?
Yes, yes, of course.
I want to check the cyber identity of a person. But
Okay.
the rules of privacy also is there.
Yeah.
So how can I use ChatGPT in that?
I don't think it does that because they're pretty clear on that. I don't.
Uh-huh.
As far as I am aware, I don't think it does that. I don't
I
think it
see.
allows us to do that. Yeah.
Oh, they won't allow, isn't it?
No, no, no. I don't think so. Absolutely not. Because they are keeping more and more restrictions on what even they can access to, as we can see with the memory and all of that. To the best of my knowledge, I don't think it does that.
I see. Did you try it?
Not so far. No.
Mhm.
Yeah, because what I understand it to be is that when we try to give a web link, right, to something that is proprietary. Proprietary means something, let's say, article, which is
Yeah,
behind the
yeah.
it is not able to access that also. So
Maybe a breach of
I'm making,
privacy rules will be there.
yeah. So I'm making an
That,
educated guess on the basis of that. That will not be that, of course.
yeah.
Yeah, because that becomes really problematic if that is becoming possible.
Uh-huh. For studious
Hello.
purpose also it cannot be done.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
studious purposes also.
Yeah, I don't think because then we don't know how this is going to be used, right? If it is being done
Yeah.
in a closed environment under observation for training purposes, that's a different thing. But on individual user basis, I don't think it should be allowed.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Hello, sir.
Sir, can I ask
Hello.
you a question?
Yes, 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 sir. शिव सर
Hello,
मैं
sir.
आपके पास आता हूँ वापस अभी शिव सर मैं आता हूँ आपके पास
Yes,
अभी
sir.
2 मिनट है ना
Sir,
yes, yeah, go ahead.
and Jalson. So the main problem that we do face is whatever questions we give, students simply copy it from ChatGPT. So I just want them to use ChatGPT at the same time with the help of ChatGPT and using their own faculties. How can these? Are there any strategies to make them write in such a way that they use their potentials and also the help of ChatGPT?
So the best way out off the top of my head directly would be to give a project like I have done here, right? Where they are required to use a platform like this, but in a constructive manner. So instead of, let's say, asking a direct submission on a topic, what you can do is ask them to write a reflective essay after they've compared their own writing with the output which the chatbot has generated and submit a comparison report on that, right? By the way, which subject domain are you from, sir? If you don't mind me asking, that will help me.
Pardon, sir?
Which subject area are you from? What is your subject area? If you don't
I
mind.
teach English.
Okay, so then definitely, then I'm sure I'm making sense. You ask them to submit a comparative report, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That also I have tried. I have asked them to first to draft an essay of their own
Okay.
and then compare it with the writings of ChatGPT. But what they would do is even that essay that they write, they get the help from ChatGPT.
Okay. The next time it happens, sir, I faced this. Do one thing. All it will take is one attempt on a plagiarism checking software. Show
Okay.
them the similarity percentage in front of them. And point out the mistakes in the, not the mistakes, the easy points that we can pick up in the syntax of a AI generated output and show them that how easy it is to identify this. Then it becomes, I think, a slightly more motivation in the right direction where they know what sort of errors or repetitions the AI model is. Put it up on the screen. That's the best way out. Or let them peer review it. That is also another way out. Until we have a definitive solution in place, these are some of the things we can do.
Okay.
Right, sir?
Thank you, sir.
शिव जी बताइए, शिव सर प्लीज टेल मी।
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
गुड
Hello.
इवनिंग, बताइए आप बताइए सर। यस
सर एक्चुअली में जो
Yes, sir.
चैट जीपीटी के जो राइट साइड में था सर, वो जो एक्टिविटी विंडो जो खुला हुआ था, वो क्या प्रो वर्जन में होता है क्या, कि फ्री वर्जन में भी होता है?
कौन सा वाला सर? कौन सा
सर
ऑप्शन?
चैट जीपीटी में दो ऑप्शन, लेफ्ट और राइट। तो राइट साइड में जो एक्टिविटी दिख रहा था सर, स्टेप 1 स्टेप 2 जो लाइन बाय लाइन दिख रहा था, वो सब प्रो वर्जन में दिखता है कि मान लीजिए फ्री वर्जन में भी दिखता है?
और मेरे ख्याल से तो पेड वर्जन में होगा, क्योंकि वो थिंकिंग मिनी वर्जन था, तो वो जो थॉट वाला एक्टिविटी था वो उसके अंदर आएगा। अब काफी टाइम से मैं जैसे मैंने आपको पहले कहा, मैं काफी टाइम से फ्री वर्जन यूज कर रहा हूँ, तो ये एक बार चेक करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि वो जब आप थिंकिंग मिनी मॉडल यूज करेंगे तब वो ऑप्शन आएगा, डायरेक्टली नहीं।
थिंकिंग मिनी वर्जन से वो प्रो वर्जन में क्या करते हैं, वो परचेज करना पड़ेगा ना?
हाँ, दैट इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग। जी जी जी
हेलो
जी सर,
सर, एक चीज बोला और से बोला
हाँ
जाए सर, वो सर क्या कहते हैं, वो पेपर राइटिंग के लिए सर, वो पब्लिक जनरल पेपर राइटिंग के लिए, तो कितना का सर प्री वर्जन क्या कहते हैं प्रो वर्जन लेना पड़ेगा, परचेज करना, सब्सक्रिप्शन लेना पड़ेगा?
सर इसमें दो चीजें हैं। पहले तो किसी भी टाइप के रिसर्च राइटिंग के लिए डायरेक्टली ये यूजफुल नहीं है, और दूसरा रिसर्च के लिए हमारा अलग से एक एफडीपी होता है, सो जहाँ पे हम एआई टूल्स की बात करते हैं। सो ये क्वेश्चन में वहां पे, क्योंकि ये पूरा अलग टॉपिक हो जाएगा, वरना हम दूसरे टेंजेंट पे निकल जाएंगे। और
तो
मेन चीज ये है कि इसमें से
तो
टूल डायरेक्टली रिसर्च के लिए यूजफुल नहीं। जी जी सर।
Sir, good evening,
रिसर्च
sir.
के लिए सर, अच्छा रिसर्च के लिए जो भी टूल होता है उसके लिए
सर
अलग
हमारा
प्लेटफॉर्म पर बताएंगे सर
अलग होता है
आप?
सर, या हमारा एक अलग एफडीपी होता है उसके लिए, वो हम ग्रुप में पोस्ट करेंगे, आप
सर
उसको
उसके,
ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं, उसमें वो सारे डिस्कस होंगे।
हाँ 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 सर, उसका एफडीपी एक बार ज्वाइन कर तो भेजिएगा सर, रिसर्च पेपर से रिलेटेड।
जी
ओके
ओके जी जी।
So I'm using that paid version of $20 per month. Is that enough for, I mean, like, or do I like upgrade that?
No, all of these options are available in that. I am using the same actually.
Okay.
What I have done is I discontinued that for once, and then so that I wanted to transition to the Indian payment system, because that lets you pay with UPI and all of that. And there's some slight difference in the amount also. So it's the same one that I'm using. It would
As
be
a
more than it.
that we don't need more than that, no?
No. I don't think so. Most of that is covered here. And secondly, Vinita ma'am, I think you had asked for my number, but we forgot it in the last session. I've done that in the chat box. Right? I've put it. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. I think I can see two more raised hands. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome. Babu sir, you have raised your hand again. Yeah.
कि मैं ये जानना चाहता है कि वो डीपसीक है ना, डीपसीक हम फ्री वर्जन में मिलता है या नहीं मिलता?
Sir, DeepSeek is completely free. I mean, that's what was, yeah, one of its major points why people suddenly started using it was it is completely free, right? It's an open source. It is working on open source models.
Yes. Punit sir, I am using a paid version, but I can't see that mini thinking and all. I can only see ChatGPT 5. When I press that down arrow, I see only two things: ChatGPT plus upgrade and ChatGPT 5 flagship model.
Are you you're using the paid version? Then it should be shown directly.
I am using $399 per month.
Okay, you are using the basic paid version, so the Go version. This is one plan above that. That's why.
Oh, okay. We have to use the 2000 plan, right?
Yes, absolutely. The 2000.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
That's fine. Yeah. Yes, Gurpreet ma'am.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm not able to send the PDF of that document even through mail, as it says that attachment is too large. So it must be less than 25 MB, but it is actually 40 MB around. So is this the reason that it is not being uploaded?
No, ma'am. In front of you only, I have uploaded a PDF of 500 pages. I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah, that is why.
File format is Word file or PDF, by the way?
It's a PDF file.
PDF
I don't know
file.
why is it happening.
Maybe
Or
in the scanning process, again, this is my educated guess. In the scanning process, there might have been some error in the encoding of it, but ideally it should not be a problem. Try uploading it on Gemini once, see what is happening. Then you
okay,
can let me know. And
I
maybe you can share it with me in a zipped version by tomorrow as a zip file. I'll take a look at it.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Yes, any other questions? Or else you can go ahead. I can see two raised hands again. Babu sir, you raised your hand. Any other questions? Okay, I think Babu sir, am I audible? All right. I don't think there are any other questions, so we can go ahead with the demo for today. I'm resharing my screen. We are coming back to ChatGPT again. We are in the regular mode. This is not a project mode now. Another very interesting space that's available. In fact, let me demo the other thing first. So the next thing which I wanted to demo is this agent mode right here. Now, this agent mode would be available if we are using this plus plan. They call it the ChatGPT plus plan. And somebody's mic is on. Can I please remote? Yeah. And we can see that the agent mode is slightly different because the moment when I turn it on, we get some of these options right here, right? So basically, the agent mode is designed to automate the prompt input output option that we have. And we can see that the moment when I turn the agent mode on, it has given me 5 categories of sample prompts to work with. The last one being the creation of a presentation, creation of spreadsheet reports, actions like booking a yoga class, scheduling delivery of groceries, etc. Reviewing and prioritizing inbox of an email, generation of reports, and some other suggested actions that it can do. So I think I mentioned this on my second day or first, if I remember correctly. This part of agent mode is designed to automate most of the inputs that we would do manually. So let's say if I go to presentations and we'll take a sample only straight away that we are creating a presentation, or in fact, let's say let's first add a sample and then I'll put a prompt again. This is the sample prompt: create a market entry strategy for a luxury hospitality brand. There is a detailed prompt that comes out, as we can see, on the basis of the exact specific scenario of tasks that it is supposed to do. And this is what agent mode does. Once I run this prompt, I will stop moving my mouse. What we'll be able to see now is, I'll just zoom in. It is thinking for this long query that we have run. And it is asking me to answer some questions if I want to. Otherwise, I can click on continue if everything is okay and we'll do that. And once this happens, the agent inside of GPT will take over the thinking process for me and the creation process for me. So let's see what happens once it thinks through the entire task itself, right? So it has gone through the task, has understood that. It's saying that it will develop a go-to-market presentation focusing on Vietnam as the international market for luxury brand. And we should be getting an output right away. It is still thinking. Yeah, this is the main one. So as we can see, what it has done is it has opened up a web browser inside of the ChatGPT itself. So this is basically a virtual computer in very simple terms. And it is now going ahead and doing this. There should be a zoom in option. I'm not getting it. Let's stop. So it is browsing currently through a website that we can see. And it will do all of these tasks on its own. My cursor is here. I can take over this instance if I want to. I can manually do it, and it says take over the browser. We won't do that. We'll let it run, and we'll see what the output looks like. So let's just see it in action. This is quite interesting, and most of the chatbots that are available today, and not just chatbots, agents also, this is what the whole notion of agentic mode is about, is what we are looking at. So we'll just give it some time to run through. It's taking slightly more time than it usually should, maybe because I'm parallelly sharing my screen also. Plus, as I mentioned in the beginning, today there's some bandwidth problem at my place. So again, still in range. So kindly please bear with me. Let's see what the thinking mode is doing. It is still scrolling through further articles to gain some insights on the idea of what the luxury brand is supposed to do. I'll open the page using the computer. So now it has started to move towards the next step. This is another website it is browsing. It is opening each of these pages. So what it is basically doing in the background currently, it is browsing the website like we would normally when we are opening the web page. This is a live web browser. It is reading through all of these pages and elements, and then it will finally give us an output at the end of this. So let's just wait for it till it finishes. Because if I move away from this, either sometimes it slows down. If I open another tab, sometimes it slows down or it completely stops. So I'll have to stick to this tab only. As we can see, it has browsed through these different websites, and it has found some articles apparently. Just going through script, other books on the same website, by the way, from which we downloaded a book just now. It was document.com. So now it has moved to the next step, which is the reading mode. It has collected all the information together. Now it is reading through the articles that it has collated, and we should see what happens. We'll see what happens at the end of it. It's quite fascinating to see it in action, and as to what it can do given the prompt is given correctly. The two features which take up the most of time, not just with this, but with just ChatGPT, but with Gemini also, and any other bot that we're using, is agent mode and deep research. They take the maximum amount of time to generate an output. With Gemini, I mean, I can show that while it is opening. I hope that it doesn't stop generating in the background. No, it is not, thankfully. Same applies here also. The same deep research feature is available here. And this also takes somewhere around 7 to 8 minutes to generate the final output once we've given all the prompts and the answer all the questions that it is asking to us. It's taking pretty long. Again, it is browsing the web. Another article which it has found seems to be reading through this also. Let me stop the recording mode. In the meantime, if it is running in the background, if we have any other questions, we can take them up as it generates. I'll take up the chat box also because this is taking more time than I had thought of. I'll come back to it as soon as it finishes generating.